What's up, guys? Corey Hankerson here from Legacy Tax and Financial Planning, author of End the Tax Nightmare, Insider Secrets to Beat the IRS and Reduce Your Tax Debt. Today, I want to talk about one of the biggest things that I see in my practice that leads to people owing very large IRS tax liabilities, or at the very least, leads to those tax liabilities getting worse and worse and worse over time. And that is procrastination. Man, the procrastinating or the failure to take action in solving the IRS problem is definitely one of the biggest things I see that leads a person deeper and deeper down the path of having IRS problems. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute, right on the other side of the break. All right, guys, if you haven't already done so, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and subscribe to our channel. And of course, hit that like button and smash that notification bell. That way you're notified each and every time we post a new video. We do tend to post here just about once a week or so. So you can look forward to videos coming out on the channel just about every week. All right. Man, I tell you, I see it all the time, right? People come in here to the office and they're like, man, I'm tens of thousands or God forbid hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax debt. I owe the IRS a lot of money, right? I haven't filed a return in 5 or 6 years because I just don't have the money to pay, so I haven't filed. And and they sit down and we explain to them the potential solution to the problem, what we can do to fix the problem, what the time frame to solving their problem is, the likely outcome, as well as how much it'll cost. There's always going to be a cost, right, to solving these sorts of problems. They're not inexpensive, right? So it seems that it's always right when we mention the cost that a person says, I got to think about it, right? So take, for example, my man George here, right? So George came into the office a few years back and he sat down and he explained that he owed well over $100,000 in back taxes. He was a self-employed small business owner, well over 100 grand in back taxes to the IRS. And he knew he was going to owe the state as well, but he didn't know exactly how much he was going to owe to the state. And he had been receiving, of course, your typical nasty letters, right? Threatening all kinds of ugly things to him if he didn't satisfy this problem, right? So he came on in and we explained to him exactly what needed to be done, how long it would take, and how much it would cost to solve the problem. He sat back in his chair. Man, he said, I think I need to think about it. I'm gonna keep that in mind. And he left the office, right? We didn't hear from him for a little bit over a year. He came back into the office, called, and he called and scheduled an appointment. My receptionist said that he sounded frantic on the phone, right? So I had an idea what the deal was. So he called to schedule another appointment and came back into the office. And when he came back in, we found out that his balance had nearly doubled because the IRS had filed substitute for returns for him. And if you don't know what SFRs or substitute for returns are, I'll put a link in the description down below. And I'll also do another video explaining what an SFR is. But suffice it to say that this caused his balance to basically double, just about almost doubled. In addition, they were now coming after his income. They were levying his income, and they were also about to hit his bank account, take all the money out of his bank account. They had already filed a tax lien. So his problem had gone from being kind of bad to kind of worse. And the key thing here was that the reason this all happened is because he failed to take action. Of course, originally, he failed to do what he should have done to avoid this in the first place. He ignored the vast majority of the letters that the IRS sent him. But when he came into the office to get his problem solved, he failed to take action at that time as well. But you know what? Don't listen to me. Let's listen to Greg explain it in his own words.
What a lot of people don't know is how quickly interest and penalties add up when you owe back taxes to the IRS. They charge interest and penalties, and interest on top of the penalties. It adds up really quick, and it gets to be larger than the tax itself. I knew I owed that tax, but all those extra penalties made the balance so high that there really wasn't much I could do.
You see, Had George decided to get out there and solve this problem or get ahead of this problem earlier, it wouldn't have been as bad. It wouldn't have cost him as much money as it ultimately did, and he would have saved himself a lot of heartache and grief. And the reason for that is because IRS problems don't solve themselves. They don't get better on their own. They only tend to get worse over time if you do nothing. Right? The longer you ignore it, the worse the problem tends to get as time goes on. So the moral of the story, don't be like Greg, right? If you owe back taxes to the IRS estate, you need to get with a professional that can help you. If you want, we're glad to sit down and help you here at Legacy Tax. But also, why don't you download my book, In the Tax Nightmare: Insider Secrets to Beat the IRS and Reduce Your Tax Debt. I got a link in the description below. You can download the book for free just by clicking on the link. In the book, I go over all about how to release wage levies, and how to deal with IRS tax liens, how to go about potentially settling your tax debt for less than you actually owe. All that's in the book, step by step, with forms and complete descriptions. So you can download the book. But if you want to have a professional help you, we're glad to do so here. You can click on the appointment button down below and go ahead and set yourself up with an appointment and have us give you a free 30-minute tax strategy session. We'll go over your situation and outline for you, just like we outlined for Greg, what the solution to the problem is, how long it'll take, and how much it'll cost. We'll give you those three things. There's absolutely no charge to you for that, whether you want us to help you or not. All right. Well, that's it, guys. That's it for this week. And thanks for checking us out, and look forward to talking to you again soon. Bye-bye.